dear viewer, I know what some of you are thinking. You're back again so soon, you lazy fat fuck? You make like a video a month. What are you doing coming back so... Well, to answer your question, I felt like reading some of my detractors' comments. I mean, some of these comments are just so juicy. They're so awesome. As you well know, I'm a fat douchebag. I mean, look at those rolls, huh? Look at the fat in my face. You know, I hardly know I'm fat. I just found out yesterday that I was fat. Let's read some of these comments, shall we? Woo-hoo-hoo!
Seems like Ace is pretty serious about this crusade against e-begging. He should start accepting donations to fund this war.
To which the Cruiser 8490 says,
I can't wait until he says something about this blog again.
Well, wait no longer, my friend, because I'm talking about your blog again. Woohoo! Alright, let's see that first one. Holy shit, that's long. Woo, alright, let's read.
Stolze Selbsteinschätzung, mutig und kühn.
Whoops, sorry, let me translate that for you. From what I understand, Hick removed Asalieri from the list because Asa was spewing that Batdan and him were accusing him of death threats. But at the end, it turned out that it was a random YouTube troll who just sent slanders and threats to Hook. Hook showed that in his apology video, so I'm at the very least willing to believe that maybe the death threats from Asa were not true. But he still used Batdan and Hook as scapegoats anyway. Hook told that in the Skype chat that they got Asa is actually a nice person. Yeah, sure, more like he's just playing nice to make you feel guilty just for calling him out on his BS and make him remove him from the video, but knowing that Jay Friedan was left intact, yeah, he didn't really cared about what was right and wrong. He just wanted to make himself look good. Not to mention the smug attitude Asa usually does in his Responky video against Hook, and make him look like a liar by showing his house clean, because the accusations of him being a slacker and a horrible parent, because is not like he just cleaned his house for that moment, and is totally not suspicious that he attempted to naysay his posers by making him look like lares and ridicule them, because that's what you totally do when someone is making a harsh accusation against you that it might not be true, right? I can't grasp why people follow him and take his words without seeing how much of a douchebag he really is. And even when his points might look valid on the surface, when you really deconstruct them, you find that they're really not that good. And I got friends who listen to him and agree, and no offense to my friends, but you really should know better. Mind you, they're not assholes like some of his followers.
Damn, Kiki, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? What is this hatred you have? I mean, it's clear that you're not being objective in any way here. You're basically, second-guessing anything I say or do, and you're skewing it to make it seem like I'm this huge monster of a person. I can't possibly be a clean person. I can't possibly be a decent person. Like, seriously? You're just that determined to hate me that you're not planning on being objective at all? Game over then. You're just a hater. A stupid one at that. There was no falsehoods between my conversation with, between me and Hardcore Kid. I'm pretty sure if you ask him that, he got that impression. I got the impression he was a pretty decent kid himself. There was no problems there. I don't see why you're skewing it to where Ace is a monster. I mean, I think at this point, if I were to save a drowning puppy from a swimming pool, you'd still be like, it's probably because Ace tossed him there in the first place because he's a fat douche. I mean, how do you even respond to that? It's just unadulterated, unwarranted hatred. Next.
So Asa doesn't believe in charity.
Asa should really read a dictionary. There's a difference between donating and begging. I'm pretty sure if Asa gets into an accident that requires an organ transplant, he doesn't want anybody to donate their organs to save his life because he thinks organ donors are scumbags too!
No, you mouth-breathing simpleton. It's not the donators I question. They're generous and they donate because they truly care for the recipient in some way, shape, or form. A lot of them want to see these projects flourish and want to see these products come to fruition. The problem I have with these things is the insane valuation some of these beggars put on their products that most of the time border on abusing their fandom for a quick buck. DVDs that cost $50 when they cost not even a fraction of that to make? Having people finance your high-priced movie and then later charging them again to see it? It's not the donators that are the problem. It's the people asking for ridiculous sacrifices from these very kind and generous people that's the problem. Get that through your thick skull! People, the sooner you realize that Asalieri is just a slanderous, overzealous false prophet and the YouTube equivalent of assholes like Glenn Beck, the better.
Yea, believe in me and thou shalt find peace. False prophet? I don't even have a religion. I'm not even telling people, hey, you need to listen to this religion. I don't even have a prophecy. How can I be a prophet? A false prophet at that. I'm not AVGN. I'm not God. No, seriously, Kiki. You take the cake as a hater. That hatred's blocking up your mind there, buddy. Let's read the next one.
You know, I have to wonder just how many real-life friends guys like him and Archie have lost over inconsequential stuff like this. Considering how quick they are to lose their shit over internet celebrities they claim to have been fans of, I'd have to imagine more than a few, bro.
Really? That's all you got? Oh, he probably doesn't have any friends. He's antisocial douchebag. Well, later on today, I'm going to go hang out with Razorfist. Second that guy wakes up, that is. In the meantime, the only proof I can show you is... well... suck my wiener. Yeah, I'm sick of scrolling through that thing, but I think you get the point. I have friends. Matter of fact, I have a wife and kids, so I actually have a live-in friend. Where's yours? A little bit of the right hand, or maybe it's the left hand? Which is it?
At Vasily. Really? Asa is not a troll? Then why is he targeting people who have never done anything wrong to him? Especially several reviewers on Teguitigu, like Linkara and Juwario. The only reason he targets them is because he's jealous he never gets to become an official Teguitigu reviewer. And that is why he's bashing them like hell, making him a genuine troll.
I love this comparing apples to oranges thing people do. They assume that because a couple of years back, I had this thing with Reviewtopia wherein Joey Rue wanted to get me on the site, and so, we were friends and all, and he thought I'd make a good addition to the site, so he wanted to put in a good word for me with them. And then when I spoke to the higher-ups, it turned out they wanted no piece of me. They didn't want anything to do with me because they felt my stuff was hateful. That somehow equals I wanted to join thatguywiththeglasses.com. That is a false rumor that only Encyclopedia Dramatica believes in. You can even ask the higher-ups at That Guy With The Glasses themselves. I never participated in their site, save for being on their forum, which I signed up in 2007 or so, or 8, and then I was banned in 2010 after making, 3 or 4 comments in that entire time. Yeah, that equates me wanting to be on the website. Very good journalistic work there. I have no idea why that rumor... No, I do have an idea why that rumor is spreading. Thanks, Encyclopedia Dramatica. You guys really know how to, get the truth out there. Oh, and this thing there, I attack and target, people from the site like Juwario and Linkara. fact, I've never made a video about Linkar. My friend Afroblue made a video about him for my channel, and even then he's not attacking him. He's giving his opinion on the guy. Get over it, kids! Some people don't like your heroes. They're not, the be-all, end-all that you think they are. They're not these awesome people. But you know what? You have your opinion. Why can't we have ours? Seriously, let it go. I don't attack people. Sometimes things are relevant to say, and I used to not be good at that. I mean, I got to Irate Gamer 2 years after he was relevant. People had already gotten there. He was old ground, and I touched old ground there. And now that I'm doing, more recent, more timely subjects, suddenly, he tastes the devil! No, I don't target people. That's the impression you have of me because you don't like me.